What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Xcinder and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit that notifications button so you're always notified every time I upload a video, which is practically never, so it won't even bother you. You might as well do it. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to be going over some tips and tricks for the new game Call of Duty Warzone, which came out just about 2 months ago. I've been playing the game a lot recently because of quarantine, and I decided to put together a video showcasing the useful tips that I've picked up while playing the game. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and without further ado, let's get right into the first tip. The first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is loadout drops, and you can buy a loadout drop for your team with $10,000, but there's also a loadout drop that falls for your team from the sky at the end of the first and the fifth circle. So as you can see in this clip, the first circle is closing in, and we get a notification here that says there's a loadout coming. That means that you don't always have to get a loadout for your team. For example, if you're coming back from the Gulag and are in the air and you notice that it's towards the end of the first circle, you can simply wait in the air until your loadout spawns and then drop right onto it to get a custom loadout. This also works if you're coming back from a late Gulag and the fifth circle happens to be closing. So next time you guys are coming back and you're in the air, just double check to see where the storm is before you drop down on the first building that you see. The next thing is more of a myth buster than an actual tip, but I saw a comment on a YouTube video, and I'm pretty sure I saw this in a tips video, that using the heartbeat sensor, taking it out, resets your tactical sprint. And this is true, and when I read that, I started doing that, thinking that it made me go faster, you know, reset your tactical sprint so you can keep using it. But in fact, if you measure it, the time it takes to take out that heartbeat sensor actually slows you down enough that it doesn't make you faster at all. So if you're a player who's doing that, really all it's doing is making you vulnerable to fire in those few seconds when you have to take out that heartbeat sensor. So yeah, stop doing that, guys. Many of you may consider this next tip pretty common knowledge, but I've been surprised how many people I run into who don't actually know that it's true. Basically, it's that in the pregame lobby, the kills that you get give you XP, and that XP actually does count towards the guns that you get the kills with. So if you are bored and just looking to get some kills, or say you get into the lobby and you happen to receive a gun that you want to upgrade, then it's a perfect opportunity to go around and kill as many people as you can, because the XP that you get from doing that will in fact help you upgrade your gun. The next tip, guys, is to always make sure that you completely land your helicopter before you get out of it, because you can never be too careful. Next, I want to talk about some tips for the Gulag. Now, there's already been a lot of videos that people have made about Gulag tips, so I want to go over some more obscure ones that you might not have heard of. The first one that comes to mind is that people who are waiting for their turn like to throw rocks often into the arena at the players who are fighting. So, if you have the chance, when you're facing your opponent, if you don't know where they are and you see people above you throwing rocks, this might be an indication of where the opponent might be, and you might be able to use that to your advantage. I don't know, it's pretty unlikely, but you never know when it might come in handy. The other tip that's pretty unlikely, but that I've heard of, is that if you have a friendly teammate who is waiting for their turn, and you place a claymore inside the arena, they can actually blow it up with the throw of a rock. I've never seen it actually happen, but I don't know, if someone has a clip of that, I've heard that it actually works, and yeah, that's pretty crazy. Another way to utilize loadout drops is actually to use them to know if there's an enemy squad nearby. And what I'm talking about is that when your loadout falls, it can also be a loadout drop for a different team. The way you know that is by looking at it when it falls and seeing how many crates actually land. If there's 2 crates, that means one of them is for you and another is for an enemy team. If there's 3 crates, one for you, one for an enemy team, and one for a third team. This means that the more crates that spawn, the more likely it is that you're going to run into an enemy squad. So make sure to be heads up next time you go for a loadout drop. The next tip is one that me and my friends use a lot when we're playing, and it works best if you have a single player on your team who runs the rocket launcher and the other ones don't. And basically the way it works is when you get a munitions box, obviously you're going to want to use it on that RPG to get a full 6 rockets. But another thing you can do is swap weapons with your friend, give them the RPG, and have them reload it as well. This way, your friend is carrying 6 extra rockets for you, so if you use any during a fight, you can quickly ask him to drop them for you, and essentially then you have 12 rockets on hand at any given time. This next tip is for when you find yourself in a situation where your squad is going to get killed and you happen to have all the money that your team has. Basically, what you can do if you really think that there's no chance that your squad is going to win the fight is drop all of the money inside a house and make sure to remember where that house is. Then you can go out and try to win the fight. If in fact you lose and one of your teammate wins in the Gulag, they can then drop back into that house, get all that cash, and buy your entire squad back. Entering the zone late can be a really good way to take advantage of opponents and catch them when they're not expecting you. Using the gas mask, such as this clip here, is a perfect way to get behind the opponents. Notice how they're all looking in the other direction, and I'm able to get an easy squad wipe. Don't be afraid to use the gas mask to its full potential by waiting till the very last second to get into the zone. Enemies typically don't expect this, and it's really easy to catch a whole squad with their pants down. And if you're lucky and play your cards right, this strategy might even get you that sweet Warzone victory. The next tip is to pretty much put an RPG in every single one of your custom loadouts because honestly it's overpowered as shit and I really don't know why you wouldn't use it. Just take some of these clips as an example. Well guys, that is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to leave a like, and consider subscribing to the channel if you're new here. Big shout out to my friend Wentzylvania for helping me come up with some of the tips in this video. I will leave a link to his Twitch in the description of this video. So guys, I think that's it for me. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.